Good evening, everyone. How are you? My name is Lizzy McGough. I'm Italian, raised in Florence, Italy, and I moved to London, England for all my 20s. Now I'm in Cape Cod, so Cape Cod has become my third new home and is where I met my husband of 30 years. May 7th is going to be 30 years. So about 10 years ago, I attended a presentation by a physician about, he said, a scientific breakthrough. And I was intrigued, so I went because I'm always curious. What I learned immediately felt real important. It was real, it was important. And at the same time, my mother in Florence, a professor whose life was art, travel, and freedom, lost their health to a severe autoimmune illness. It was horrible. And watching her struggle for years taught me a powerful truth: health is freedom. Meanwhile, I was dealing with severe seasonal allergies that trigger asthma that I've never had in 45 years in Italy. And it was a complete new thing for me. I was gasping for air. I was on a nebulizer 3 times a day. That was making me agitated. It was awful. My husband, who's in very good health, had though enlarged prostate, and he decided to get off his medication because the side effects were so bad that he said, "I'll deal with the enlarged prostate." Within a year on Protandim, I signed up right away because I had a gut feeling this was amazing. I don't know why. And I had all the studies read by my best friend's father, who was a trauma surgeon in the Miami hospital. And I said, we started taking it. And within a year, my seasonal allergy was gone, and my husband's problem was reversed, which is unheard for. It's unheard, for something like that, you don't hear it that it reverses. We didn't know what to expect taking this new technological new little yellow pill. And within 2 years my asthma was gone. So that experience changed not only my health but the direction of my life, as it opened the door to helping so many others. So enough about me, though. This business is built on real people with big hearts, people who see what you will hear tonight, not just a great opportunity, but as a true calling paired with an entrepreneurial spirit. Today is my honor to introduce the leaders who believed in me from the beginning, Marci and Dondee Nettles, and they will share why this technology is at the forefront of preventative innovation. Marci and Dondee, over to you.
Thank you, Lizzy. Oh my gosh. I still remember coming out and being at your home and meeting you for the first time. You had a really bad bike accident. And just getting to know you and to feel your spirit and your energy and the passion that you have around this opportunity, you inspire me. But for me, LifeVantage actually came into my life, this opportunity, back in 2011. 18 months before, I had been in a car accident on duty that ended my law enforcement career of about 10 years. It left me with a brain injury, several herniated discs throughout my spine, and my inability to be able to be a police officer anymore. That meant that the way that I made money was done. It meant that my identity had been stripped from me, and I started going through a lot of difficulties, a lot of loss. I went through a divorce of a marriage that was already struggling. We lost a house. My kids were now teenagers at this time. And after 3 spine surgeries and being on prescription medication, I wasn't fully there. I ended up going into a pretty deep depression and ended up on more prescription medication. And this time they had warning labels on them that said may cause suicidal tendencies. I actually had 4 suicide attempts before very dear friends of mine were introduced to this amazing micro franchising opportunity that you're going to be learning about tonight. And they thought of me as one of the first people that they wanted to introduce to this. And I will forever be grateful, because in losing my career, in losing my identity, in having all of this physical pain and the medications, I really hadn't really grasped what am I going to do for my future? How am I going to raise my almost 17-year-old daughter and be able to provide for her now that I was no longer a police officer? And so when I saw the information that we're going to be sharing with you tonight, very similar to the way that I saw it, I had hope for the first time in 18 months that I could get my physical abilities back and that I could share this same information with other people to be able to build an income, to be able to provide for my daughter at that time, but also hopefully provide for me into the future. And so I said yes, I jumped right in. I had miraculous results with these products and the business. I have to tell you, I got so excited about sharing this opportunity with people that the income just started coming in, and it showed me that it worked and that it was real. It introduced me to an amazing community of people that wrapped their arms around me, lifted me up, and one of those people ended up becoming my husband just a few short years later. And I am so excited and honored to be able to bring him on so that he can share his short story with you, because we have blended our family. We have 4 children together, 4 grandkids, and blended our passion and our vision for what a micro franchise with LifeVantage could mean to you. So, Dondee, would you please hop in here and share your story?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marci. I appreciate you very much. And Lizzy, I remember, just like Marci said, the first time we met you, and you had obviously been in a pretty severe bike accident. And I just remember when you said that how short of a time it was that since you had been in the accident, yet how much healing you had already experienced. We could see where some of the scabs had previously been and how rapidly you were healing. That is a very common thing that happens when we activate our bodies. And one of the things that we have to be very mindful of, and you mentioned a couple of health conditions, is that one of the things that we can't say legally is that our products prevent, treat, or cure any of these health challenges or diseases or what have you. But what they do absolutely do is like what you experienced firsthand, is they help your body heal. They help your body get back to the way it was designed. And when the body heals, oftentimes symptoms go away. And when there's no more symptoms, they don't have a title to call it anymore. And that's one of the things that we see on a pretty regular basis. But thank you again for the intro, Lizzy. Thank you, Marci, for the introduction. When I got involved in this company, it's been almost 17 years ago. So in May of this year, it will be 17 years that I've been involved with this company, and 15 and a half years of that in a full-time capacity. When I saw the information very similar to what you are all seeing tonight, I was a chiropractor, and I was a chiropractor that was working at least 80 to 90 hours outside my home, running the fourth largest chiropractic practice in Arizona. We were seeing between 350 and 500 patients per week. And I'm also an educator. My passion is to empower people with knowledge and wisdom. And I was an AM talk radio host on 2 different AM stations here well, I'm actually in California now, but in the Phoenix Valley. And it was something that was helping lots and lots of people, but it took a lot of my time. In fact, I was a full-time dad only in my mind, because I literally saw my children when I left the house, they were sleeping. When I got home, they were sleeping. I had a relationship with sleeping children. And so that reality, and when I saw what we saw here with this micro franchise opportunity, I said, this is something that appeals to me. And 18 months later, I was able to sell my practice, cancel my radio shows, and I have been working with LifeVantage now full time for the last 15 and a half years. And in that process, if we could kind of wrap all that visual there as an ice cream sundae, or maybe even a banana split, if you put some whipped cream and a cherry on top, my beautiful wife Marci is that cherry on top. We met here at this company. We both went through divorces. We teamed our families together, our businesses together. And now for the last 13 and a half, 14, 15 almost years, we've been really pooling our efforts to help people all over planet Earth. And so it's such an incredible honor to be your presenters tonight and share with this information with all of your guests. We are just so empowered and passionate about what this is, because it's changed our lives dramatically. It allowed me to be a full-time dad. And now, after all that years of being or selling my practice, I went back into practice a couple months ago. And now I'm actually giving back of my time, very part-time now, but it's something that I have the ability now to put my hands back to work and help people with this micro franchise opportunity at a time in the world where more people are looking to be healthier than ever before. And more people are looking for some kind of a business opportunity that is more solid and can create leverage. than any time before. And I'll get in a little bit more detail with this slide. Thank you. That was a great prompting there, Marci. So if you're looking at this as an entrepreneur, if you're looking at this as a skeptic, I really want you to pay close attention to the slide you're seeing now. These are the 6 key components of how to predict whether or not a business is going to be predictably successful. The first one is the company. And the first part about the company reality is how long has the company been in business? Because 95% of all new businesses fail within the first 5 years. And so we've been a company for over 23 years now. We are completely debt free. That's also a big part of the failure of a company when they are undercapitalized, when they don't have enough money. We are also publicly traded on the NASDAQ. So we are transparent as a company. We are LFVN is our ticker symbol. So when you look at the company and you look at the components that make a company, we can't avoid talking about the second issue there, or the second component there, products. Does the company and its solidity and its history, do they produce products that anybody even cares about? Well, how do we know about that? What are the products? Relevance. Are the products relevant? Are they solving problems that people realize they have and they're searching for solutions for? And the answer is a resounding yes. There's more people right now on planet Earth that want to be healthier than they currently are, predictably. And that is what our products provide. Well, then you look at timing. The curve that you see there, timing has never been better. If you see that upward slope to the right, that's where companies, and then you see the pivot and the upward shift, that right there is the beginning. That's when it is the most opportune time to get involved in a company before it hits its growth trajectory. So looking at companies like Apple, looking at companies like Intel, and looking at the technology companies or any company you can name, that one point there was the perfect time to get into the company. And then once they become household names, it's too late. And so what we're talking about, that growth potential, is called momentum. What is momentum? How do you define momentum? It's within the first 5, 10, 15% of the trajectory of the growth. So we are a $250 million company that literally no one has heard of, despite the fact that we're on the NASDAQ, despite the fact we've got patented, scientifically proven products. But the world is looking for the solutions that we have. They just don't know where to get them. They're firmly aware of the problems that they have. They just didn't know where the solution is, which is where that momentum, 80% of the growth happens in that time. And it's just a matter of time before our transparency, before our products, before our scientific validity catches on. And then it's going to be the upward trajectory. What is that? That's the fourth component there, trends. What are the trends? How do I know what I'm telling you right now is valid and accurate? There are more people. If you were to I'm going to ask everybody who's watching right now, if you could have better health than you have right now, predictably, would you opt in? Would you want it? And the next question, if you would like to have more financial leverage and more financial control over your future from a financial standpoint, would you take advantage of that? Those are the 2 most common trends right now. In fact, look at people. We're a little over 3/4 of the way through the first month of the year. And guess what? Number 1 and number 2 New Year's resolutions are every single year, relating to health and relating to finances. And those are the trends that everybody who makes New Year's resolutions makes them for. And we have a company that provides both of those solutions. That is a predictable trend. And then you look at the compensation part of it. Is it even worth my time to get involved in the company? What is the financial outlay and what is the financial potential? And that's the compensation part of it. And there has to be a buyer's a barrier of entry, rather, where you can say, you know what, if I can get that kind of money, it would be worth it for me. And everybody has a number. That's why we are, as a publicly traded company, there is a slide we will show you exactly what that looks like. So whatever that number is for you, you can determine it, and you can determine it without having to roll some dice or ask some questions. You can determine it very convincingly, because as a public company, as a transparent company, it is our legal obligation to share that information. We cannot hide something like that. So it's a question extremely easy to answer. And then the last part of the 6 components here, is there a system in place that people before me have followed to become successful? That's actually how we became a successful company, is with our system. And so if there's a system in place, it's already bearing fruit and it's working, and anybody can follow it, that's pretty much a recipe for success. And that's exactly what we have here. So for you scrutinizing people tonight, for you skeptical people tonight, for you entrepreneurial people tonight that are looking to see whether or not this is for you, please evaluate all 6 of those components and evaluate them well. So there is no guesswork. It's either a yes, it's for me, or no, it's not for me, but would know exactly why. Because what this is not tonight is a sales pitch. This is an information opportunity for you to weigh the information, run it through these 6 variables here, these components, and decide whether or not this company and these people and this system and this community deserves your time. So go ahead, next slide, Marci. Take it away.
All right, thanks, Dondee. Okay, so we're going to dive into those 6 aspects a little bit more for you, starting here with the company and also I would say the industry, because never before has this industry been stronger while it's shifting. And part of that shift takes visionary leadership, and that's what our CEO, Steve Fife, absolutely has. It's almost like he can look into the future and see what we need to be doing today to be best set up to be successful down the road. We are financially transparent, as Dondee mentioned. We are publicly traded. The ticker is LFVN. You can go and take a look at that. We have been highly recognized and have earned all kinds of awards for our amazing products, which is also all information that you can find because we are publicly traded. Again, we have got amazing accreditation. And on top of that, we have got one of my favorite aspects is our legacy program. This is our 501c3 side of LifeVantage, where we get to donate our time, our money, and our physical ability to be able to help people that are underserved around the world. And we even take donations for the storms and the things that displace people here in the United States. So please take a look at that as you're weighing out whether or not this is the right micro franchise for you. So again, why LifeVantage and why now? Being publicly traded and fully transparent means that you know exactly what you're getting into it when you say yes. You know what's going to be happening down the road, and you will know it at the same time as all of our investors and everybody else knows it, because that's what being publicly traded means, is that everything has to be reported. We have scientifically validated and patented products, which means you have products that are proven to work and a business opportunity that is protected. We have growth potential and timing. You know, we are actually anticipated to become a $2 to $3 billion company. And currently we're under $250 million a year, which means you are right there at that cusp of moving from 10% of our potential into that massive momentum growth phase. So we have got the top compensation plan in the industry. We're going to be talking more about that here in a few slides, but I want you to know that we are debt-free and making major investments into a secure, stable business that pays the best in the industry. We actually invested about $6 million just about 3 years ago to have the most relevant compensation plan created for us here at LifeVantage. So it's an amazing way to make money. Plus the culture that we have here at LifeVantage, we are more family than we are business. We are completely about building leaders, mentoring, and collaborating, because we know that we are better together. So let's get into talking about some of the problems that are out there that we have solutions to. Now, I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but I think that there's a lot of people that have got life out of balance. You know, whether it's in the way that they physically feel, whether it's in the amount of money they have in the checkbook and how many bills they have going out every single month, whether they feel like they're supported. Life gets out of balance. And why does that happen? It's everyday occurrences, the things that are required to live, right? Eating food creates stress depending on what food you're eating, medications that you take, the aging process itself, lack of sleep, which the more that you're on your blue light devices, the worse your sleep is going to be. And then, of course, the environment, everything else that's around us including the things that you allow in you. So your thoughts, the books you read, the movies you watch, the music even, and especially those people that you have around you, whether they're positive or negative, they are affecting you every single day. So really, it's our environment that makes things get out of balance depending on what type of environment that we live in. Well, we know that the focus needs to be on getting to the root cause. If we can help you heal your cells and heal your gut, then we can get you back into balance. And it's in balance that you can feel the best you have ever felt. And that truly is the LifeVantage way, because we believe that we're not a Band-Aid company, okay? We believe at getting to the root issues. And if we can help you have those healthy cells, those cells come together to create healthy tissues. It takes healthy tissues to create healthy organs. And it's the organs that we have that come into these systems. And as long as those systems are healthy, you're going to have a healthy body. But if you don't have healthy cells, you cannot end up with that healthy body. So LifeVantage is completely different than any other company out there. We are unique. We offer products that are unique and cannot be purchased anywhere else. And they do something different than the world has ever heard of before. Everyone has heard of the problems, but nobody has the solutions other than LifeVantage. So we are the activation company. What that means is that we are not a supplement company that is relying on something that's in a bottle, whether it's a pill, whether it's a liquid, to be able to help something that has become deficient inside of our bodies get up to the level that we need. What our products do is they actually go in and turn your body back on, activating them to start working the way that they did when you were young. And so what we do is we help you slow down your aging process. We help you correct things that have gone wrong so that you can heal the way that your body was intended to heal before that out of balance occurred. So I'm super excited to be able to take you back to where we started. Now, back in 2005, there was an ABC primetime investigative report that came into the offices in Colorado where the scientist that created our first foundational product was working. He came in because he wanted to disprove the claims that had been said about our technology. Well, I want you to pay attention to this, because what actually happened, instead of it being an expose, it became the best piece of third-party validation that we obviously still use to this day. Now, please forgive the quality of the recording, because it was, 21 years ago that this aired. But please pay attention to this short piece of this ABC Primetime investigative report.
Following is an ABC Primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. more enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm it.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Wow. I still get chills when I see that. And I saw that for the first time in April of 2009. So almost 4 years after that initial broadcast. And as I told you, when I saw this, I was extremely skeptical. My first thought was, if that is so good, and it sure sounded compelling, why didn't I hear about it until now? And why am I hearing about it from someone else, not from my own colleagues or from my own profession? Because when something lowers oxidative stress, it lowers something that is directly involved in over 200 diseases that many of the patients were coming to me with. And so that's when I realized this is either really, really good and it's being hidden because it's so good, or this is just a big sham. But I took a trust. And what the interesting thing about it, I was already taking what was in that blue bottle, the product of Protandim. I had a horrific knee injury, and 5 days after a complete rupture of my ACL, I was able to bend my knee at 90 degrees, which is about 6 weeks of progress typically. And that's when I thought, this is pretty spectacular. And so I went looking for the information on the company, found the video that you just saw, and I thought, there's something clearly wrong here, because I'm experiencing this in my knee. I put 6 of my patients on it, some of my patients that were not progressing, and all 6 of them turned around in a very short period of time. And I realized something just doesn't quite add up. Why is this product so great? It had national news coverage, and yet at this time, nobody knew about it. And this again was in April rather of 2009, a little or almost 17 years ago. Well, the answer is pretty profound, and we are still way behind the capability to understand truly what this product does. But as Lizzy said in the beginning, this is a technological breakthrough. But sometimes technological breakthroughs take time to get out. Well, if you look at the red line that says without Protandim, what that represents is the age-related effect of increasing oxidative stress, and as a result, the diseases that we come down with. And so, but if you see the line below it, after Protandim, literally what you're seeing there is, in this human study, the youngest participant was 20 years old. The oldest participant was 80 years old. And when they individually took their blood and put it under a microscope, looking at the age-related factors of disease, they literally could not tell the difference between the 20-year-old's blood and the 80-year-old's blood after taking the blue bottle product right there called Protandim. That was revolutionary. And that broadcast that you just saw created literally an international interest in the study of that product, the product that you see there, not the ingredients, the actual finished product. And to date, we have 29 published and peer-reviewed studies published in medical journals from all over the world. That's how crazy this medical grade product, it is actually a dietary supplement published in medical journals. How much of an interest is this line of study? Well, oxidative stress, what that means is free radical damage that causes sick cells. If you look at the graphic on the left, the center describes what it is, free radical damage being oxidative stress. And if you look at all the elements that surround that, it is all the parts of our body. In fact, this is such a concentrated study of effort of study internationally that if you go to pubmed.gov, which you see on the computer representation there on your right, it's the National Library of Medicine. It is the largest repository of published medical research on planet Earth. It's where doctors and scientists and researchers go to do their research. If you simply go to that website, again, it's pubmed.gov, do this yourself, type in the 2 words oxidative stress. Now, just to put this in perspective, the number that you see there, 388,597, that was 5 days ago on Saturday when Marci and I did a presentation in Salt Lake City. I just checked it before we went live tonight. It is now 389,515. So almost 1,000 additional studies in the last 5 days. Well, what do these studies represent? The relationship between oxidative stress and human disease. These are published in medical journals. So if 1,000 studies in 5 days have been published, how important or how readily are people studying this subject? It is massively important to human health. And so that just kind of puts in perspective what we're talking about tonight when we're talking about the product, when we're talking about that technological breakthrough that scientists are firmly aware of. It just has not yet filtered down into the lay public, but it will. And so what do sick cells feel like? How would we even know if we had oxidative stress? Well, chronic fatigue, waking up tired, no energy, brain fog, and not just after lunch, but like walking into a room and forgetting why you went in there, lack of concentration, focus, attention span going by the wayside, aches and pains that just don't go away, being sick often, headaches, and much, much more. These are all signs of sick cells. That is why it is so powerful when you have an intervention strategy for these sick cells to allow the body to heal itself. Go ahead, next slide, Mars. And so Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, that is what this product is called. So the difference here is you can take the product, and as a result of the product, you make your own antioxidants. Now, you can take antioxidants in the form of you could eat a bunch of blueberries or have a nice kale salad or take some vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin C, something like that. They're all very powerful antioxidants. The challenge is if you're taking a supplement, you can take too little and have a lesser version of the original problem, or you can take too much and create a new problem. That's the limitation of supplements, which supplement something you're deficient in. When you activate your body's natural production of antioxidant enzymes, they always produce the exact right proportion of a response at the exact right time for the exact right reason, and there's never a side effect to your body's natural production of these triggers. That's what this product does. The benefit is not, I repeat, not in the bottle. The benefit is when you take what's in the bottle and it activates the system in your body and your body creates the benefit, which is literally 1,000,000 times stronger than anything you can take. That is why this is so profound, such that it lowers oxidative stress by 40% minimum in 30 days after taking it. And so a question that we are constantly asking here at LifeVantage, what else can we activate? And if you're paying attention to recent reports coming out of the CDC, like one a few weeks ago, that food sensitivities have increased 50% since the 1990s, and improper gut health is at the helm or is the responsibility. We asked, what can we do to impact and activate the gut microbiome? And we came out with an amazing product that does just that. And so what do you take? P84. P stands for phyto ingredients, meaning plant-based ingredients, and 84 is the number of ingredients in that 2-part product right there. So it makes your body's natural gut peptides again. So you have normal balance, normal digestion, because here's the reality, guys. It doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what you digest and you absorb. And you can eat all kinds of wonderful foods like free-range chicken and grass-fed and finished beef on the protein side and organic fruits and vegetables on the carbohydrate side. But if your body's not absorbing them and assimilating them, breaking them down properly, you're just spending a bunch of money to create expensive bowel movements. And that is a critical problem, evidenced by the CDC report a few weeks ago. So gut peptides are critically important. to turn back on. And when you take the proper ingredients, that's exactly what your body knows how to do and goes back to its youthful vigor of doing that. Again, by creating 14 key peptides for your gut microbiome to one, heal the epithelial cells of your stomach lining and your gut lining, which so you can avoid things like leaky gut and things of that nature, also replenishes the mucus later, and most importantly, the bacterial environment or the microbiome, all three of those levels. But look at the next slide we're going to show you is actually what does it feel like to have sick guts? So you can be wondering, is this me he's talking about? Well, if you have bloating or excessive gas after food, it just might be, or constipation or diarrhea, or abdominal cramping after eating, heartburn or acid reflux, irregular bowel movements. What does that mean? Like every other day or so, or not the same amount of meals that you had the previous day. That's what irregularity stands for or looks like. Food sensitivities, they just talked about that, the CDC. It's increased 50% in the last or since the 90s. Indigestion and much, much more. These are all signs of a sick gut. Well, guess what? Your body has the capacity to heal its own sick gut when you provide the proper environment. And that's exactly what P84 does. And let me show you some of the actual gut peptides that are produced in this equation. There's the regulators, the repairers, and the restorers. The regulators actively, the master peptides that control digestion. Because like I said, it's not what you eat that matters. It's what you break down and digest that matters. And so nutrient absorption, properly absorbing what you're actually eating. Then the repairing the epithelial lining of your gut, of your entire GI system, repairing the mucous membrane of that entire system. And then lastly, restoring the right bacterial environment, getting the microbiome completely repaired. Your body has the capacity to do it on its own when you provide the right ingredients and the right environment and give enough time and encouragement. Your body knows what to do. And here are the regulators. These are some of the specific gut peptides that are produced, are increased, and by how much. You've got the regulators there on the left, the repairers are in the middle, and how many of them and how much it's increased. And then lastly, the restorers, the gut bacteria. And so 14 gut peptides are dramatically increased by taking this product so your body can heal itself with no side effects. And another answer to what else can we activate? How about collagen? Collagen has been known over the last 10 to 15 years as more of a vanity category product like hair, skin, and nails. And it is very important in your hair, skin, and nails. But collagen, the protein collagen, the most plentiful protein in the human body, and the one that your body produces the most of. Of all the 20,000 proteins that your body produces, collagen is the most dependent on for health and wellness, and it's the most plentiful in your body. But there's a challenge. From the age of 30 on, your body loses 1% of its natural production of collagen every year after the age of 30. That's why a 6-year-old's skin looks different than a 60-year-old skin, or a 6-year-old body different than a 60-year-old body as far as mobility and moving around. Because the 5 factors of a joint, the bone, the muscle, the ligament, the tendon, and the cartilage, all of them are heavily influenced by collagen. So we have the Healthy Glow Essential Stack, which is our flagship product, Protandim, NRF2, lowering that oxidative stress, restoring the body's natural healing capabilities, while also turning back on the fibroblasts, the specialized cells within your body that make the collagen. So you don't need to take the collagen, you make the collagen. Well, guess what? This is a double whammy. Inside that amazing brown bottle, there is over 5,000 milligrams of collagen, 10 different types of collagen, but there's also a very key ingredient called ruby red quinoa that produces your body's natural production of collagen by activating the fibroblasts, which that is their job to make collagen. And the overall result is tremendous, over 100% increase in your body's natural production of collagen when those two products right there, the Healthy Glow Essential Stack, is taken together. Here's the cool thing. The next slide, we're going to show you the outward benefit. So when you can, and these are just 30 days. This is our guarantee. Take a picture of your face or wherever you're looking to improve before you start the product and then 30 days after. And the result you see is, this is the interesting thing. Think you're seeing external benefit from a product that's taken internally. What is that telling you? Imagine all of the change that's happening on the inside as well, for there to be visibly obvious change on the outside in just 30 days. And we've got literally thousands of pictures like this, of 6 months on, a year on, and they get better and better and better, like you're aging backwards by the exterior part of your body when it looks like when it has its own collagen being produced again. Incredible, groundbreaking product. All right, now I want to talk about cognition, because cognitive challenges or cognitive degenerative diseases have become extremely common, unfortunately. And so, what do they all pretty much have in common with regard to cognitive degenerative diseases? And usually there is a degradation of the brain as it relates to neurotransmitters. Why am I even starting it off this way? Because that product right there, Axio, is brain messengers, activating your body's natural production and balancing of neurotransmitters so that the chemistry inside your brain can become balanced, handle its own issues so that the brain is better capable of handling everything else in your body. There's a caffeinated version and a decaf version. It's green tea caffeine, so it's milder. Each one of those sticks you just add to about 10 to 16 ounces of water, shake it up and drink it down. It's milder than coffee-based caffeine, and so it's easier on your body because it's green tea, but there's also decaffeinated versions because adults are not the only people that struggle with cognitive things. Cognitive things like what? Well, lack of concentration, focus, attention, mood, memory, all things that when neurotransmitters are balanced, you don't struggle with. Restoring the natural vigor of the brain to be able to focus intently is priceless. And kids suffer from it too. That's why we have a decaf version for kids. We can make popsicles out of them, gummies out of them. It'd be as creative as you want for kids that have maybe some texture or taste issues, but it's incredible. Balancing the chemistry of the brain so that your brain can focus on what it was designed to do, which is run and regulate your body.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So just from that little bit of information that you saw on these products, can you see how activating your body can help you feel better than you have felt in a really long time? Because here we are, the Take It to Make It company. What that means is we empower our bodies to make the antioxidants, the proteins and enzymes and things that you need for better health. But on top of that, when you share LifeVantage, when you start your own micro franchise, you're also activating the opportunity with the ability to earn additional income streams. I say income streams because we have multiple ways that you can make money here with LifeVantage. So along with those activators in the brain, Axio that Dondee just shared with you, we have additional activators where we activate your mitochondria, your NAD, your own GLP-1 hormone. Plus we have activated hair care and skin care. It's very clean, award-winning, and we have top-end supplements that help with your immune system and much, much more. So starting your micro franchise, you have access to the product catalog, the complete product catalog, to be able to share with other people and finally be able to offer them solutions to the problems that they're feeling in their wellness. But I'll tell you guys, I think our best opportunity or our best product is the micro franchise opportunity. So talking a little bit more about this industry and what it rewards, and it's innovation, it's forward thinking, it's uniqueness, it's having products that are consumable, products that everybody needs and are looking for, especially now in this day and age. So we have been recognized for our cutting edge innovation with our Pro Tandem NRF2, reducing oxidative stress, right? Well, gut health is the next big market, and we have got the only activator that is available. This market is rapidly growing. Right now, we're at $14.4 billion being spent on gut health products, and it's anticipated to grow to over $32 billion by 2035. So in just 9 short years. The fastest growing regions for gut health awareness are North America, Asia Pacific, and Europe. And we are open in countries in all of these different regions. It is emerging science. But we're not just riding a trend. This is building a business on solutions that the majority of people have the problems that they need what we have. So we kept asking that question about what else can we activate? And I mentioned earlier that about 3 years ago, we made a major investment, and that investment was in our compensation plan. Over $6 million was spent to help us design the most relevant compensation plan in the industry. It helps you to evolve and earn. You can earn many ways, as I already mentioned, including getting paid for gathering customers and selling products. You get paid for building a team. Get paid for developing leaders, helping them build teams. And on top of it, this is one of my favorites, is that you can actually get paid on what the company has already done since 2009 when we first became a network marketing company. How about that? Global profit share. You can start earning that as soon as you hit the leadership ranks. Guys, being publicly traded, we have got all the documentation for you. You do not need to trust anything that we have shared here with you tonight, but we would hope that you would look into it a little bit deeper. This is our income disclosure statement. And on the far left side, you can see the different rankings of consultants in this company with micro franchises. The third row from the left gives you the average monthly commissions paid at that rank. Take a moment just to look down at those numbers and see where you'd need to be on a monthly basis for this to be something that you're ready to invest in your own micro franchise, where you can have your own business, where you can work from anywhere that you have access to the internet and be able to share these products and opportunity with those people that you know, or the people that your people know, right? And then once you find that number on what you need to make on a monthly basis for this to be a really great thing for you to jump into, well, guys, think about this. How long has it been since you dreamed a little bit? Where would you like to be in the next 3 to 5 years? What type of an income would you like to be making? You can do this right along with what you're currently doing until you're ready to step into this fully. How much money would you like to be making in the next 3 to 5 years on a monthly basis? Because the numbers that you're seeing there in the average monthly commissions column is what is being paid out to consultants at those ranks monthly. And then if you'd like to take it a step further, where do you want to be in 10 years? Gosh, the time's going to pass anyways. Working this business in the nooks and crannies, working with a team, being willing to learn, you can absolutely change your life, and it can be dependent on your own efforts. Now, the far right column is the average number of months that it has taken people to get to these ranks. So if you feel like you're average, that's about the amount of time it'll take you to get to each one of those ranks. But if you see yourself as being someone that's willing to do things a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, a little bit more, you could get there faster. So we're excited to be able to share this with you and to be able to work with you. If you want more information on our compensation plan, please use this QR code to be able to go in and see the step-by-step commissions that you can earn, the instructions on how to do it, and just a complete breakdown, or get with the person that invited you to this information, and they can get you connected to us or to somebody else that can help break it down for you and share more. But the way that you start your own micro franchise with LifeVantage is by purchasing a pack. We have multiple packs that you can choose from. This is an example of the pack that comes with the Healthy Edge. It's basically Protandim NRF2 as well as P84. You get products for this pack. You get your international business for this $250. Plus you get all the materials you need, including a website, an app that you can share with your customers to help them with the tracking of their product usage. All kinds of benefits come with purchasing the pack, and you get these products at an 11% discount. Or this is what we recommend. This is what I did. This is what Dondee did. And the majority of the business builders start their micro franchise with this pack, the business pack. This is where you get multiple different products. You get all of our activators and some of our high-end supplements to be able to go along with it, to be able to try it. You get our skincare at a significant savings, 37% off of the individual product purchase. Guys, this is the pack that gives you the opportunity to have the product experience so you can talk about it with authority, as well as have some samples to share with people that you want to introduce this micro franchising opportunity to. You also get all of the business materials. You get the websites, the app, and you get event tickets to the next 2 corporate events. Here in 2026, in April, we will be in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then in October, we'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah for our global convention. And you would get both of those registrations included in your purchase of the business pack in starting your business. And then, of course, you want to be able to maintain the products to hit your wellness goals. That's where you'd want to subscribe with a stack for a monthly subscription. You can purchase products in specific combinations that the company has put together that we know create synergy in the way that they work inside of your body. Having that synergy helps you reach your goals quicker and maintain it for a longer period of time. It also has the products shipped directly to your house, and you get a discount because of the product bundling. So make sure that you get with the person that invited you here tonight. Let them know what your goals are for your wellness, and they can help direct you towards which stack would be best to subscribe with, as well as which pack will help you get your micro franchise up and running the very best way with the tools and the products for greatest success. Guys, we want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We are super excited to have been able to share this information with you. Please get back to the person that invited you to take a look. Let them know, first of all, what number you would need to reach within the next 6 months to be able to get started today. And also let them know what questions you have, what you'd like to see more of. And hey, we'd love to be the first one to say welcome to the team.